You may not know that in the Declaration of Independence, Thomas Jefferson made the U in United lowercase and the S in states uppercase. Why did he do that? Well, back then it was intended for, everyone knew that it was intended for the federal government to stay small, do its job, which is protect our borders and keep us safe from terrorism. Also, the federal government was supposed to assist the states in upholding their laws, not to take over in the capacity that they are today. Another thing you may not notice or may not know is when the South seceded from the Union, did they do it legally or was it unlawful when they actually pulled away from the Union? It makes a difference here. Check this out.
It was well understood that a man has to pull his own weight in order to provide for his own well-being and not be restricted by an overarching governing authority. By the late 18th century, this tradition of small government sentiments was so established in the minds of many of the founding fathers that when Thomas Jefferson penned the Declaration of Independence, you'll notice that in the words United States, the U is lowercase and the S is capitalized. In other words, many of them had no intentions of establishing a large overarching federal government. Before the ratification of what we now know as the Constitution, the states were under what was called the Articles of Confederation,
which had in the language specifically this idea of a perpetual union. And to the extent that the federal government took upon itself responsibilities that were not delegated to it, and the states reserved the right to remove themselves from the union. This term, American citizen, would probably have taken people aback because they didn't really see themselves as citizens of the United States. They saw themselves as citizens of their individual states.
Contrary to what a lot of people might think, the founding fathers were not exactly on one accord when it came to the kind of government that they would establish. Yes, you had a lot of them who believed in the principles and the ideals of a small government and states' rights, and you had others who believed in a large overarching federal government, and they sought to implement this style of government at the Constitutional Convention.
Patrick Henry famously refused to attend the Constitutional Convention because he said that he smelled a rat. He believed that the federal government would betray the South.